Alright farmers, welcome back to the channel. Now today we're going to be looking at a groundworking features info released by Giants for Farming Simulator 22. So let's jump straight in. Right, now it says here that we did some groundwork on Farming Simulator 22. Not only does the soil, like other surfaces, appear more natural and vivid thanks to parallax occlusion mapping, there's also new groundworking systems and a lot of ground textures you can look forward to, which you'll see a bit later in the video. So the first one that they've got is mulching. Mulching, the revelation of domestic gardening through questionable overuse of bark chips. But backyards and home improvement are not what we're talking about here. Although the science is basically the same, mulching improves the soil and therefore the yield. In Farming Simulator 22, we use a mulcher attached to our tractor to cut and apply fresh grass to the surface of the soil when cultivating a grape or olive orchard, for example. After harvesting your crops, you can also mulch the stubble left in the field to improve the yield. And because it's still important to many, you also mulch to guarantee the visual appeal of your grape and olive orchards, as mulching makes everything on your vineyard look nice and clean too. How wonderful. Also, there are bigger types of mulches in the forestry section. They even mulch bushes and tree stumps. Almost nothing will get in the way of mulching if you apply the correct machinery. Now this is obviously something new they've added into the game, and this happens quite regularly in the real life. Obviously you do your harvesting and not everything comes off the ground like it does in the game so far, so you're going to be left with all the stalks, all the trash, so to speak, of what's not gone through the harvester. So with this mulching option, what that does is basically puts it all back into the ground, leaves the nutrients that are still in the stalks and leaves them in the ground for the next crop. So it gives a sort of a bit of a bonus to your yield for the next crop that's going to be growing into it. So as bonuses go, it's always good to have an extra bonus. Okay, moving on to the next one, we've got stone picking. Right, so it says here, leaving the wonderful world of mulching, there's a hard reality lying dormant in the ground: stones. When cultivating or ploughing, stones can turn up on your field. Depending on what kind of cultivator you're using, the size of the stones varies. Using a subsoiler will dig up some larger rocks compared to your shallower groundwork. Your soil lies in chaos now. Oh no! But what now? When collecting stones with your stone picker, you can even make some additional money by selling them to the debris crusher. Get your revenge on the soil invaders and even get paid for it. Before you begin to sow your crop now, you should take care of the stones one way or another. You can also turn stones off if you like. Leaving them on the field will damage your machines. Not only that, your problem will get worse. More and bigger stones will turn up. If you don't like to collect them, there is another method to get rid of them, at least the smaller ones. Here comes another groundworking mechanic into play that ties into stones. Yes, stones are the gift that keep on giving. Now, I watch a YouTube channel, and I seen this on the go the other day. It's a Millennial Farmer. Probably lots of people watch it already, and this is the first time on this channel that I've seen that. I never really thought about it before, because we're just playing a game, and you do whatever job you normally do, and you don't really think about the extra things that you need to do to get your crops ready. This is something I thought, whoa, that's a new one on me. So them adding it into the game is brilliant. It's like you are harvesting your field, you're ploughing your field, you're cultivating, whatever you're doing, you're going to lift the rocks up. So we've already got in the game from 19 the element of having to repair your tools. So if you're going to leave your stones in the ground or on the field, you're going to need to repair them quicker. So you have the stone collector, the stone picker, you whip across your fields, get them all up, and then less maintenance for your tools. another element added into the game. Excellent. Now on to the last ground working situation for today. We've got soil rolling. Right, so it says here, if you pick large rocks out of the ground, you need to collect them. With smaller stones turning up after cultivating or ploughing, you can also use this spectacular looking agricultural tool called a roller and simply press them into the ground again. Yes, just roll over them. They had it coming, threatening the well-being of your expensive machinery. Rollers are not just a tool to conceal the rocky consequences of cultivating or ploughing though. After sowing your crops, you can gain an additional yield bonus when rolling over, flattening and compressing the seedbed. Considering the type of crop and field size, we're talking about a considerable amount of money. There's also incentive to get your roll on when you're a grassland enthusiast, as rolling around on your meadows grants you a fertilising stage. Mind that rolling over your grass sets it back to the first growth stage, so you should roll over the grass when it's freshly cut and mowed. So this is another thing chucked in with the stone picking. You know, it's like you, depending on what you're doing, depends on what stones are going to be pulled out of the ground. So if you're doing light cultivating or a bit of, I'm assuming, subsoiling, you're going to pull out some smallish stones. You go full bore and do the ploughing, yeah, you're going to pull out some bigger ones. So if you're just doing the cultivating, you can just use this roller and just press them back into the ground and get rid of them. But then again, if you can collect them and sell them on, why wouldn't you do the stone picking? You make a bit of extra money out of them. Okay, well, that's entirely up to you. Obviously you play the game how you want to play it. This is just another thing that you can be cracking on with. But what it did also say there is that flattening, rolling, whatever you want to call it, compressing the seedbed gives you a bonus, gives you an additional yield bonus. So you may want to consider that when you're planting, seeding, whatever you're doing. And particularly if you're doing grass, you know, you cut your grass, bale it, tether it, whatever you're doing. Once you've got it all up, whack your roller on it, and gives you an additional fertilising state. So when you come to cut it again, you're going to get more yield off it. Excellent. Couple of new things there to add into the whole thing. You know, it's really going down the road of being a simulator. It's putting everything into the game that people need to do in real life. So that is brilliant. Now what we've got on the last picture for today is it's got more different ground textures, which is excellent. So if you're coming up to a field and it's like, oh, what have I done, what haven't I done, you just have a look at it and you can see what's going on. So you've got the stubble tillage. This is going to be straight after you've harvested your crop. You've then got the cultivated state. You've then got the seed bed, so that's going to be after you've put your roller onto it. You've then got ploughed. You've then got rolled seed bed. Hold on, so you've got seed bed there. And then you've got rolled seed bed, so what's the difference between the two? Okay. Alright, we'll see how that goes. Okay, so you've got rolled seed bed, then you've got sown, so you've been over that with your seeder. You then got a different one for planted. So when you're doing your usual cereal crops, you're going to have the sown texture, and when you're doing your corn, your sunflowers, you're going to have the planted texture. So that's another new thing as well, which is excellent. You then got ridged, so that'll be for your potatoes. You then got the direct sown, so if you're using a no-till, a direct drill implement on the back of your tractor, that's what it'll look like. You then got the harvest ready 2, so I can only assume from that harvest ready is going to be like your standard cereal based crops, and your harvest ready probably is going to be your root crops. Looking at that, that's what it looks like to me. I mean, I could be wrong. We'll see what happens when it comes out. And then the last one is you got your grass and your grass cut. So This can then also go into your role play. You know, if you've got a couple of people on the server with you, somebody's job is to do the cultivating, somebody's job is to do the sowing, the rolling, whatever. You can rock up to a field and go, oh, hold on, Jimmy, you haven't done your job yet, get back over here and finish off. Yeah, that's just a scenario. I'm just, you know, spitballing here, just thinking off the top of my head. But it's another thing, it's another element, it's another change to the game, making it all the more better. And as I said before, you know, the more this information comes out, the more and more the game just looks brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Saying that, that's it for today. Just to give you a reminder, if you do pre-order the game, you get the Class Xerion Saddle Track Pack. So you get that tractor on the front and the sprayer on the back. You can also pre-order it with the Year 1 Season Pass. So you get the 3 packs and the first expansion all together. Now this would be working out cheaper over the long run unless you bought the individual DLCs. So you save a bit of money over the year with that one. And just a final reminder for today, coming out on the 22nd of November, so not that long to go. It's coming out on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, PC, Mac and Google Stadia. So that's always good, and as we said before, it's been released that you can all play together, so regardless of what system you're playing on, you can jump on with your mates. So that's great. So that's it from me today. Just if you like the video, hit the like button. If you want to see more from us, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one.